Hello and welcome back to another episode on the Hermitcraft server. So right now I'm doing a little bit of caving and I thought that this would be a good time to talk to you about a few things this episode before we go back to our projects like we normally do. But on second thought this is probably quite bad because I'm going to get distracted a lot. But anyway, there's things that I want to talk to you about. First of all is Battle Royale. If you've seen one of the previous Battle Royale seasons then you'll know what it's all about, but it's basically like a PvP game where we hunt each other down on a map that's trying to kill us because it has kill zones that come from the corners of the map into the centre, so it usually kind of forces everyone to fight at the end. And the last two seasons I'd say I've been fairly successful at surviving, but I don't think I've even killed anyone. Can't really remember the last one. Maybe I killed someone, but I've been killed by Hypno twice, so I haven't been doing too well myself. But I'm actually really excited for this season because we've recoded the plugin that we've had because it failed a little bit on the last season, and we've also got a new map, a new building with all the features fixed. We've got new items in the beginning, but the thing that I'm most excited for is that we've got a hell of a lot of people playing. We've got almost all of the Hermitcrafters together to record this thing, and we've also got some special guests as well. Now I'm not going to tell you who the special guests are just in case anything happens, but I think you'll be excited by them when this comes out. So this episode will be out on a Saturday, and then those Battle Royale episodes will come out on the Monday, Wednesday and Friday, provided that I survive long enough to put out that many episodes. But yeah, so look out for that on Monday. It's going to be really exciting. So the next thing that I wanted to talk about is the comments in the videos. Pretty much all of them this applies to because I've seen it happen quite a lot, but basically something changed at Google recently, and the emails that I get notifying me of comments, now actually I get a single email for every single person who replies to someone else's comment, and I'm pretty sure it's a bug and not a feature, but it hasn't been fixed yet. But it's made me very aware that there's a lot of conversations going on amongst people watching my videos, which I wasn't aware of before. And it's pretty cool that you guys like to chat and hang out and talk amongst each other. Oh, that was a bit crazy, but yeah, at the same time I have to sort of step in a little, I think, and say that I'd like to see you guys respect each other as well, because I've seen a lot of really negative arguments, people who are fighting mainly over just really petty things like Minecraft knowledge. That's something I've been seeing in the Minecraft Mythbusters. A lot of people arguing about what's not or is in the game, and basically it turns into some nasty comments. And I just wanted to say there's no real need for that. If you're going to comment on my videos, you're more than welcome to, but if you're going to get into an argument, just remember, guys, to respect each other's opinions and take care of each other, because we're all here for this awesome game, and there's no need to say anything nasty to each other. But at the same time, that's only talking to a very small amount of people, because most of it is really quite pleasant. There's also people who help other people. I've said before that I really appreciate that. If especially on tutorials, if there's someone asking a question and you know the answer, then if you step in, that really helps me out, because there's so many comments to reply to in a day, and yeah, every one extra that's replied to by you guys really helps. I have one more thing to talk to you about before we go back over to Avalon and start working on the tube again, and that is Twitter. I am quite new to Twitter. This is the first time I've been using it is just because of YouTube, and I've noticed that only people that I'm following ever tweet me. Now I just wanted to ask you guys, is that a setting? Because I looked into it myself and I couldn't really find out, but it seems like I'd only ever get tweeted by some of the people that I follow, like Generic and Biffa. They often tweet me now and again, and I see that on my feed, but I don't see anyone else tweeting me, which is a bit of a worry to me, because I like to try and answer as many comments, questions and PMs as I can, and I get a lot of them on Facebook and YouTube, and I do my best to answer them. But on Twitter I've noticed that I've not been getting notified that I'm being tweeted, so if you guys know about that, let me know, because I don't want to ignore people. That would be quite rude. So yeah, I just want to figure out how that thing works, and it looks like I've been here before, so I should probably head back before I get lost. So I'm just about to get prepared to head back into the nether and continue work on the tube, when I've been reminded of something that's happened in between the episodes. I was in the nether travelling around, and I threw an ender pearl and it didn't work. It kind of teleported me to 6 different places all at once, and I know that sounds crazy, but basically it was like you heard the noise of the ender pearl when you land and you take damage, and it went boom, 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 and I could see all these different places like Lava Lake. I could see Netherrack. None of them really looked too familiar because it happened so quickly. And then last of all, I got teleported up into Bedrock, and then I just stayed there for about a second or two and died, and I lost all of my items. I didn't actually have too much valuable stuff on me apart from my feather falling boots. But I kind of went into rage mode. When I respawned, I went into creative and then flew back over to get my items back, because the way I saw it was that the game had, cheated me through a bug out of my items and stuff. But when I went back to where I threw the ender pearl, I couldn't see any signs of where I died anywhere at all. And I was flying around there for about 5 minutes, and I gave up in the end, came back here and went into survival mode. But yeah, so the only thing of value that I really had on me, apart from a few diamond tools and stuff, were my feather falling boots. And you can see I've got some iron items here, and this is because I made a bit of an interesting, not a discovery, but you'll see what I'm talking about. So down here we have some feather falling 4 boots, and what I did was I took a stack of iron with me to the end farm and just done tons of enchanting, and it made me realise that there's certain things that iron are better for. For example, Feather Falling 4 is really good because it's just the property that we want. We want the armour to absorb full damage, so doing that on iron boots makes so much more sense than doing it on diamonds, because diamonds are expensive. And then it occurred to me to try that on a sword as well, and we can get the looting free on a sword. Now, I'm only ever going to use that on animals because I want to get the loot from them and get more of it. So instead of enchanting tons of diamond swords trying to find a looting one, what we can just do is take iron, I've got chests full of it, and just do tons and tons of enchanting, and we can give ourselves all the looting swords that we need, which I think is a really great way of doing it. So from now on I'm going to be enchanting lots of iron as well as diamonds, so we can always have a looting sword and also have those Feather Falling 4 ones available. And then the leftovers that I get, the ones that aren't so good, I put them in the ender chest at the moment, but I'm going to take these over to the trading post and leave them in nice and cheap for people that want to buy them. Okay, let's take a look at the tube. I've done a lot of work since the last episode. There you go, that looks great, I think. It's all finished as well. Got the glass in there, the lava coming down from the ceilings. If we just hop down here, you can see ceiling's a lot higher over there. I think it would actually look a little bit better if the distance was shorter like it is over here, but it still looks cool. And we should go inside and take a look at it. So it looks good from the inside here as well, and the main reason why I think is because of the glass and where it's positioned. So when I first was placing this, I was putting it in line with these stone slab blocks, and it just made this place look really boxy, and I didn't like it like that. And so what I thought I'd do is I'd move it back one, because I was used to seeing it where you could see the edge like this and not have glass on it, and that actually done the trick. Looks really good now, adds a bit more shape to the inside, but the glass looks really clean as well, which I like. And it was just down the end here that I died, by the way, with the ender pearl. I threw one from up the top here, down onto the ground over here, and this is where it just, before it even hit the ground I think, it just freaked out and I got teleported all over the place. And yeah, I never found my items, but anyway, we're running into a bit of a problem here because we're going to have to change up this tunnel. It needs to go higher up, I think, although there's a possibility that I could... Nah, I can't keep it at the same height. You see, I don't think it looks as good when the lava drops down from higher up like it does at this bit here. So I want the next section of this to hug the ceiling, but as well as it being closer to the ceiling, it's also going to be going at a diagonal, and I'm not sure if I like that really, because it might be hard to keep this kind of look that we've got going, continuing with it going at a diagonal. But that's all stuff we'll be figuring out in a bit. Because what we're going to do next is go back to the beginning and just finish off that transition bit between this part of the tunnel and the previous one. So for the first part of this transition, I've lowered down this next segment here by 1 block. We'll put some torches there, so it's level with the one before it, and that's because I thought it was the same height as the roof over there. And then when I was standing here, I was looking at it and I was thinking, no, that's higher, isn't it? So what I thought I'd do is put these slabs to bring it all the way over here and find out, and it turns out that it's just half a slab higher. And then this gave me the idea for how we could do the transition. I think what we'll do is continue with this every third block there's netherrack, except this block will disappear next time, then these ones, and then slowly they'll disappear coming round from the outside, and it will all turn into these smooth stone slabs. Not sure if that's going to match up 100% by the time it reaches over here, but I'll play around with it and see what we can do. Okay, how does this look? I think it looks okay, nothing too special. So remove this block here. The height changes here. I think I might bring that out a few more blocks. In fact, yeah, you can see I've done that on the sides here. So I'll just add a couple more now and see how that looks. Yeah, I definitely think that looks a little bit better, but you can see we slowly get rid of the nether brick. Maybe I'll remove 1 or 2 blocks down the bottom here as well, just so the transition's a little smoother. And then from the outside it doesn't look particularly special either, but that's not really what I was expecting it to do. I was thinking about putting some glass on here as well, but I don't know, it seemed kind of pointless to break it up. And yeah, we've got the stone slabs on the underside here going into the ground as well. They don't go behind this netherrack. And I was thinking I might cover some more of this up with netherrack, make it look like it comes out of the ground a bit more, especially this bit here. But yeah, that's that bit done for now, I think. I'll make a couple of tweaks and then we'll move on. The next part of the tube is going to be quite challenging to make, mainly because there's a lot of decisions that are going to affect how it looks. And I'm honestly not too sure what to do at the moment, but here's what we're doing. We're going to make this go up, and it needs to go up to at least this height over here where this netherrack is, so it's ready to turn at a diagonal and go in that direction. But if you look at how high up the ceiling is here, it might actually need to go even higher, so that's something I'm going to check out in a moment. But first of all, I've been thinking about how it is that I'm going to do this, because we could easily make this thing look awful if we do it wrong. And what I was first thinking of doing is breaking it into sections. So where the glass is here, that would be one section, and then the lava bit would be the second section. And that bit would always say stay the same, and it's this bit here that would change. So we would use that to go up, and then it would go to a flat bit where we have the lava on either sides. And I think the slope is going to be quite steep, so it might be every 1 block it goes up or every 2, and I'm still not sure how high up to bring it. So the alternative to that is to actually build a different tunnel type here, which I'm starting to think might be the best thing to do, just to have a break between this type of tunnel before we get to the bit here and we go at a diagonal. And I'm still not sure about how to do that, but I'm going to face that challenge when we get to it, because I don't think this design is going to translate very well into a diagonal one, but we'll find out as we do it. But the next thing that I want to do right now is actually just go across the route that we're taking and try and keep directly diagonal to make sure it's all open, because when you're walking across it, you feel like you're going at a diagonal, but you might actually be going more this way or that way, if you know what I mean. So I just want to make sure that there's a clear diagonal path so that we don't run into any problems. And also I want to check out the ceiling height, because you can see it's this height here, and it is just over there in the distance as well, but there's this bit here where it goes up even higher. So I'm just going to go and survey the area, because when we get to this bit here we might actually want to be a lot higher, so we're actually up closer to that ceiling there. But I'm going to go down there and check it out now. So everything looks good with our path that we're going to take across the nether. I've been very careful. I've been walking in a directly diagonal line, using the texture of the netherrack to help us actually. I'll show you that later on though. And it looks like we're going to be all clear to build a bridge that goes all the way across without running into any big mound of netherrack. And that's until we get to this tunnel here, and this is the one that leads to the hub. And I was just going to go through and walk in a diagonal line from my entrance to see if it would actually meet up perfectly with that or not. And I discovered this, a portal. I have no ideas whose this is, but we shall go through and check it out anyway. It might be one of the new members. We've got a couple at the moment. I'm not sure if I can actually... Well, I can announce Aureylian. Not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, but she's joined the server. Generic B and Joe Hill's done some videos on that. In fact, I'll put some links to that in the description box. But this looks just like it's an ice tray that someone's building, and not a base, which is a bit unfortunate. There's also someone else who's joined the server, but no one's announced it yet, so I won't say who that is either. But yeah, this is definitely an ice tray. Just needs some water in it, I think. Oh, and I've only got 1 bucket. But that doesn't stop me, does it? Okay, there we go. Filled that back up, so that'll all turn to ice, although I'm going to go back through the portal, so unless someone's in the area it's not going to freeze. Okay, this is so cool. If I just hold down forward, the way I've got it positioned, it is digging a tunnel for me in the exact diagonal line that I want to go in. Okay, I've made it through, and earlier I mentioned about there being a way to use the netherrack to see what way you're going. Well, if you look at this black line here, that's basically going in a diagonal the whole way. So this actually leads all the way back to the nether hub, directly outside my entrance to it. So what I'm going to do now is jump down here and continue following this line all the way back and see where it comes out. Okay, so I finished walking across this field here. I accidentally hit a pigman and had to run away and hide for a bit so that they would de-aggro, and in case you don't know how that works, if you hit a pigman you need to run away from them and go out of range so they won't be tracking you anymore, and then just wait for about 5 to 10 minutes and they will be de-aggroed. And I've got a horrible feeling that this guy's going to come over here and knock me off. But anyway, oh yeah, he's blatantly going to, let's just take care of him quickly. Away you go. No, 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 no. Thank God for feather falling, eh? Oh, he's still coming after me. Oh, this is not going well, is it? Okay, so this right here, before we get rudely interrupted again, this time it will probably be a ghast. It should be exactly diagonal, so if we went in that direction all the way back to the nether hub, we would go straight through the door for my little entrance bit. So you can see it's off a little bit, but all it means is that we've got to go out a little bit further that way, and then that's where the diagonal turn would start. And then I've also figured out that we need to be, I think it's 10 blocks lower than the height that it is there, to always be below all of the netherrack on our journey across. And there's a little bit that might clip it on one side over there, but we can just take care of that with some TNT. This I'm all going to double check in the future though and make sure I'm 100% right, so that we get that tunnel done perfect. Okay, I have made some more progress despite not building anything for a while. This is actually the exact diagonal from the entrance, and whoa, that's not good. Please don't blow it up. There is always something to harass you in the nether, but as I was saying, this is the exact diagonal from the entrance, and I've done that using the coordinates to figure that one out. So this is where the tube will turn and go off in that direction. And I also took note at what height the tunnel was at, and I found out that this tunnel here, if it was 2 blocks low, would be the exact same height as the entrance over there. So initially I was a little disappointed and I thought, oh, we could have made this go at the same height the whole way through, but then I realised it would be too close to the ground over there and you'd have too much lava coming down from the ceiling. So we're still going to go upwards, but what I think I should do next is figure out the optimal height to build it at just here, the next part where it goes in this direction, so we can make sure it's at the right height, try and build it with the whole lava thing coming down on either side and try and get a decent diagonal tunnel going. If we can make something that looks good, then I'll build the bit that bridges up to it, otherwise we'll have to find another way of doing this. I've just discovered something interesting that I'm sure some of you will want to know. When you're bridging across with half slabs, some of you may have had this thing where all of a sudden the half slab drops down 1 block and then you fall down. And there you go, you see it drop down 1 block. Well, the way things work in the recent updates is that if you click on the top half of a block, you'll place the slab there, and if you click on the bottom half, that's where you'll place it. But actually the same thing applies to slabs, so if I click on the top half, you see it goes at the top. If I click on the bottom half, it also stays where it is. But if I click on the very bottom row of pixels here, you'll see that it'll drop down 1 block, like that. And there it is again. And I think that's deliberate. I don't think that's a bug. I think that's to help you to intentionally place them 1 block or half a block lower. With the tube being on a diagonal like it is, it's going to provide some real challenges. I am struggling to figure out something that works. I feel that the distance where the grass from the edge is just about right here. It's 3 blocks, and on the other one it's 2, but obviously it's 2 going straight across. So with this being on a diagonal, you can see it's 2 there, but 1 between those 2. But I feel like that's right. I tried it 1 block further out and it seemed like too much. But what's causing trouble at the moment is figuring out where these lava things that come down from the ceiling are going to go. This is the first attempt I've made at putting one in, and it doesn't look right to me. The front here is too exposed and it's too close to the lava, and you can kind of see out of it as well, whereas before we had the solid blocks like this at the front, and then you had one gap here. So what I think we need to do is get something like this, and then that block there be where the lava is, so you have one bit that you can look through like that. So I'm going to make this bigger and see if that's possible. Okay, I think we're getting closer to what we're going to be using. This does look better, but my problem with this is that you can see the outside too much from in here, so that means we'd have to fill in those blocks at the back on either side, and that might take away from the effect that we're trying to get here. So what we should do is ender pearl over there and have a look. Okay, that is interesting. That looks so much different than what I would expect, and if we were to fill in those blocks that I was talking about, I think we would lose the effect that I'm going for on the outside. But then again, this is different, so there is no rules here. We can make this look different if we want to. I think I'm trying to stick too close to the original, which is going to be really difficult. But I've got a couple of ideas. I'll change a few things up and we'll have another look. Okay, that looks good. Yeah, that does. I do like that. And the one thing I want to change about that is to take those half slabs out in the middle on the sides. But if we do that, then we'll lose the view from the inside, or we'll gain it. I don't know. We'll be able to see outside is what I mean. And there's one other thing that I changed, which was taking the half slabs out of those gaps there. And I think I might put them back, have a look again, and see if I like that. But otherwise, I think that looks pretty decent. Okay, I can tell you that I don't like that. It doesn't look bad, but it clearly looks better without those half slabs on the side. So I'm happy with that. There's a lot more to figure out now. We've got the first part done, the most important part. I thought it would be quite difficult to do that. Hopefully the rest will come quite easily. But yeah, I'm going to remove those half slabs, finish building the first segment with lava on either side. I'll make sure that lava comes from the ceiling as well, and we can start to get a good idea of what this thing's going to look like going diagonal. I've almost finished building this first segment of the tube. What I need to do next is put in the lava on either side. And this whole thing has just taken me such a long time. It is really difficult to build, and I think there's a few reasons why. First of all, you've got ghasts shooting at you every 5 minutes. But also, just placing blocks at a diagonal seems to slow things down, especially when you're doing the edges like this. But the main reason it's taken me a long time is because it's all new, so I've got to figure everything out, and building those bits down there took forever, and these ones didn't really take as long, but it's still something I'm getting used to. And also, because this is on a diagonal, you can see that the way I've done this is the bit that lines up with the entrance, and then I've put one to the side because we need to put the rails along like this. And if I'd have done it with more stone slabs on this side, then the two sides would have been opposite and equal. So if you look like this, if I go across, it comes to this bit here and not that bit. So it's slightly off, and I don't think that's going to be a big problem really, because you can barely notice it when you're in here, or at least you notice it a little bit. But from the outside, you're either going to be looking at one side or looking at this from the other, so I don't think it's going to be too big a problem, and there's no way I'm going to tear all this up and rebuild it now anyway. But what I'm going to do is go up here, fill up the lava in the ceiling so it drops down into the sides, and then we'll ender pearl over there and have a look. Wow, look at that. I think that looks awesome. I ender pearl down here, turned around and I was just like, oh dear. That looks really good. It's big, it's quite bold as well, and I think we've got the bit with the lava on the sides just right. They do look a bit small in proportion compared to the rest of the bridge, but I'm not too sure what I can do to change it now. But anyway, I'm happy with it. Also a little unsure with how the glass is going to go on the outside. One idea that I did have was just to extend the ledge at the top and bottom and put glass panes going from side to side, but like I said, not sure what I'm going to do with that. I think we should perhaps ender pearl over there and have a look from down there. This could go horribly wrong. Oh, I think I went over the edge. Oh, that was lucky. Because there's a big lava lake over here. Yeah, you can see it. And from down here as well, it looks really good. So yeah, I'm definitely happy with that. It's going to take me a long time to build though. I actually smelted about how many stacks of it? About 6 stacks of smooth stone, turned it all into slabs, and that's about how much that part there costs. So I'm going to really dig into my cobblestone supplies to build this thing, but that's alright. Okay, we're back here at the trading post, and I brought with me an ender chest, and this is something that I forgot to do last time. So let's put this here. I like that you can put it next to a chest as well, that's handy. And yeah, I'm going to put these items up for trade. And I've also found out that you can take a book and quill, and if you don't sign it, you can just leave it like that and edit it as you go along. So this book is now useless, so I'll leave it in here like this, and that means I can edit it over time, and I won't have to keep playing around with it. But anyway, someone's brought the last of my items. I'll put that in my inventory, and I'm just going to think about how much I'm going to ask for these, and then put the prices in the book, and then put it all in the chest. Right, let's see if this works. Should be able to see what I've written in this book already because I didn't sign it. There you go. I've asked for more than I did last time. I've asked for 2 iron for the swords and 3 for the boots, and it'll be interesting to see if people take those prices. But my plan is to enchant a lot of iron stuff and then have plenty of feather falling boots and looting free swords and put those in here, and maybe I can get maybe a diamond for each one of those, since they've got some really valuable enchantments on them. So I'm about to head into the end portal. I have loads of iron swords here to enchant. Hopefully we'll get tons of looting free. And I was thinking about all the possibilities of using them. We could use them on the mob spawner at the XP farm whenever I get that sorted out, and get tons and tons of gunpowder. So these are going to be really useful, I think. And yeah, I just wanted to turn on the camera and show you Biffa's XP farm. It looks really cool. Like the soul sand and ender stone look really good together. And I think this thing's quite effective as well. I haven't seen much of it, and it would appear, I think it's in kill mode at the moment because there's just drops there, but either way it looks really good. I'll have to check that out in the future for sure. But anyway, we should jump down and hop into the end. Oh, there we go. So I'm here at the end farm, and this is all I have time for this episode. In between I will be enchanting all of these iron swords. We've got 24 here, so it'll be interesting to find out how many looting swords we do get. But anyway, thank you for watching, and I will catch you next time.